With regard now, Ambassador, with what has happened today, I want to correct the perception. We are in court. Save MMD was born because when we lost the matter, the one that asked Dr. Mumba to go back to the office, we appealed and the matter has been in court since. There has been preliminaries. I don't want even to discuss it because the matter is still live in court. The people that were working with Dr. Mumba.
Just a minute, Mr. Sichilima. Thank you very much. Just a minute, Mr. Sichilima. Thank you very much. Dear viewers, we had the glitch. I was just alerted that my live broadcast on my page had gone off, and that's what I was trying to quickly resolve. Share with us. Tell us where you are watching us from. We are back on the program. I don't know what happened on my page, but I'm being told that on the other pages, which let me just check, we are okay. But on my page, the network, not the network, I don't know what happened, but my broadcast was cut short on my page. But on the other pages, it looks like we are okay. I'm just verifying. So join us once again. For you that are just joining us, we are hosting the MMD on this matter. There have been a dramatic announcement. Dr. Nevas Mumba held what he called the 5th extraordinary conference, convention, as they call it. And he has announced several issues, including that he has changed the name of the party. If you saw the pictures that we played earlier, the pictures show that they are now in other colors than the previous colors of the MMD. They've changed the logo, they've changed the name of the party from MMD to New Nation Party. I am hosting Mr. Gaston Sichilima, former minister and MMD member. He's running currently an organization inside the MMD trying to reclaim the MMD. Their argument is that Dr. Nevas Mumba's tenure of office ended in 2022. He was elected in 2012. The tenure runs for 5 years each term. He's already served the second term, and they've contended that Dr. Nevas Mumba should go to conference so that they can elect a new leader of the MMD. I invited Reverend Sambo, who's like Secretary General or part of the Dr. Nevas Mumba's faction, to come to this discussion, but he says he's unavailable. They've just held the conference and they're busy with logistical issues, and he says he'll come tomorrow. So we have our dear brother, Gaston Sichilima, Honorable Gaston Sichilima. Is former Mbala MP and former minister, and he is pushing for the MMD to go to conference so that they can elect a new leader. He argues that MMD, as you know, doesn't have a new leader yet because the term for President Nevas Mumba ended in 2022. On the other hand, Dr. Nevas Mumba says he's in charge. He has gone into an alliance with the UPND. You saw at their conference, there's Secretary General of the UPND, Batuke Imenda, was among the special guests that was invited to this so-called extraordinary conference. So share the broadcast quickly. We lost you there. Share, tell us where you are calling us from. We know there's heavy load shedding in Zambia, but share to your colleagues so that they know that we are back. And to our dear viewers, you'll be joining us to make the comments. Let me hand over again back to Mr. Sichilima, who's just explaining his role and where they are now before we take the conversation further.
So I was saying, thank you very much, Ambassador. I was saying we are in court. There are two factions, and our factions should not be treated any different. We have seen factions happening in other political parties. The faction is not to destroy a political party in our case. It's just like a house. You will have a crack in a house. You don't abandon the house. You sit down to correct certain things. Like I've said, Dr. Mumba from 2012 has never followed the party guidelines. And one such is what he has done, for instance, today. I wanted to correct the perception to say Dr. Mumba has changed the name of MMD. All he has done in his democratic right, which have no question, he has formed another political party. And anybody that has followed him, it is believing in him, I would say they have gone. Now, since there were two factions, Save MMD, which has been talking about doing the correct thing within MMD, I would say today and safely pronounce that Save MMD has saved MMD, because now Dr. Mumba has paved a way. And we are clapping and thanking Dr. Mumba, because that now is being a gentleman. Instead of 10 years, he has done 14 years. It will remain on record. I am saying the Constitution itself, the guidelines that I'm referring to, Dr. Mumba has no powers to change the name. It's only the convention. Yes, one may argue out that he called the convention today. When was the notice done? Because you're supposed to give 30 days notice. It is in the guideline. There must be an agenda. Not only that, you must do intra-party. Intra-party from the branches. You vote people to come at the constituency level, they come at the district level, they come at the provincial level, up to NEC, and this is the electoral college that it goes to choose now the leaders. Now, when you do that, that's when now you go to the convention. It is dissolved. The NEC is dissolved. Now, in this case, in 10 years, the chairman MMD wrote the letter that there was vacancy of MMD. Who becomes in charge? It is the chairman, the custodian, and the trustees. That didn't happen. So Dr. Mumba himself became the chairman to be a custodian of MMD, and then he goes to do intra-party within himself. Yes, one may argue out again that he was going in provinces. Even those in provinces where he was going, it was stage managed. You pick people from the street, and in any case, how are you going to know that those were members? Because we have never had card renewal. One of the breaches, very, very serious. Every year, members of MMD, we were renewing cards. He has never done that. He has never done returns. Even accountability of finances, whatever money that has been contributed. The chairman, Mr. Maliti, again he wrote a letter and questioned. When he questioned that, the next thing, it was suspension. Now, even suspension was not even followed. So I want to say, we've had no party president from 2022. If anything, whoever was there was masquerading. Now, one may see the people that went there. I want to disclose tonight that now we have even feedback. Some of the members, in brackets, genuine members who are all the MMD, who attended this convention, were not even told what they were coming for. But I want to say, because we had intelligence report, being a faction and being in this team, we knew that Dr. Mumba was coming to change Article 40, Clause 1, so that he can remain a one-year in MMD, and changing the name. We knew all what was happening. So now that he has pronounced the new political party, I want to repeat, we have thanked him and wish him good luck. The same way that happened when we lost the matter in court. Honorable Mutati went and formed a political party. We shook hands and we wished him lucky. He went to form MDC. No quarrels about it. When we remained with the Honorable Nakachinda, he wasn't honorable then, to lead Save MMD. When he decided to join the PF, we shook hands. And he's a colleague. These had their own democratic right. MMD, when it brought in multipartism and this democracy that we're talking about, UPND was born out of MMD, PF was born out of MMD, FDD was born out of MMD,
Honorable,
RP was
Honorable
formed out.
Sichilima.
So all these are democratic rights of individuals that chose not to follow MMD guidelines. As in Save MMD, we remained. The only difference that we had with Dr. Mumba is that of not following the political guidelines. The
Honorable
first
Sichilima.
term of going to the convention, he
Honorable
could have
Sichilima.
gone there.
Yeah, Honorable Sichilima, are you
Yes,
telling us
Ambassador,
that
thank you.
the event we saw is not an MMD event? Are you telling us that Dr. Nevas Mumba has defected from the MMD and formed a new party? Let's just play short videos from their conference, then I want you to comment on this development, because you are saying Felix Mutati left and formed the party, Nakachinda joined the PF. Are you stating that Dr. Nevas Mumba and his group have left the MMD, they formed the new party? Is that your contention? Let me just play a few videos from there.
On this day, the things that make and the rain has broken forth for Lusaka. Put your hands together for that rain, that you can hear sound. It is not a coincidence. There is a reason. So I'm the Venerable Canon Robert Sihubwa. I am coming here in my capacity as the National Chairperson of the National Day of Prayer and Fasting. One of our major roles is to pray for the nation of Zambia and to pray for...
The discussions we had yesterday and early this morning confirms our resolve to move this club of ours to higher heights. Our promise last night to sacrifice and give our time to the reorganization of our party is a promise that should not end up in words, but we should all walk the talk. The spirit of brotherhood and the peaceful manner exhibited last night should not end in this room. We should come out of this room and take the message of renewal, the message of a new beginning, a message of a fresh start with renewed energy. The fact that we have made this bold decision by changing our outlook, we should guard it jealously. We should give our leader space for him to navigate and unveil his vision for our great party.
Let a documentary about how evil Nevas Mumba is, how he has disturbed Zimbabwe, which is a great friend of ours. Then they went after HH and said HH and Nevas Mumba are the ones that are trying to disturb the relationship between Zimbabwe and Zambia. I want to clear the air today. When I was going, I asked President Hakainde Hichilema, what do you want me to do in Zimbabwe? He said nothing except to make sure the election is free and fair. And that's what I went there for. But the same people who insulted HH and myself for Zimbabwe and saying HH should have gone to Zimbabwe, although we were represented by our Minister of Foreign Affairs, now they're angry because HH went to Tanzania, where we have strategic interests in that country, and the interest is that our business and our survival comes through that port. And in leadership, that's why you see Donald Trump, he believes in democracy. But when it comes to business of his country, the interest of America is the one. He goes to Saudi Arabia, which is the dictatorship. He goes to China and shakes hands. He goes to North Korea and shakes hands with what they call a dictator. Why does he do that? Because he's the interest.
So what I see and surmise from all this is that Dr. Nevas Mumba, whose term has ended in the MMD, and he should have handed over power in 2022 after serving 10 years, clearly has formed this new party that gives him a new lease of life, and he becomes literally like he's starting afresh. So are the decisions that have been made to change the party legal? Did the delegates that came to the extraordinary conference, formed and constituted according to the party constitution? We have Honorable Gaston Sichilima to walk us through all this, why he's saying Nevers Mumba has taken action against MMD. These are not MMD decisions. Please explain.
First and foremost, when you look at that, and even just the display there, the logo that you are seeing there, that's not MMD. That's not the hour. That is New Hope. One of the differences that we've had. In there, according to our party constitution, from the time that he ended his tenure, we're supposed to have had a team led by a lawyer, an independent team to come and carry out even elections, monitored, where even non-governmental organizations would even be invited. That was not done. I want to go back to intra-party. If you ask, for instance, some of our members that were picked from Umongu, we have 16 districts there. Our guideline is that you're supposed to pick at least 5 people from a district, 5 at a province. They only picked Kaoma and Mongu. And in Mongu, it's only one compound. The rest refused to come to that convention because there was no intra-party. That already speaks volumes of illegality. I know I'm privileged to be invited here. If you follow politically, we should just be wishing Dr. Mumba and the team good luck because they have defected. And in the guidelines, you cannot be a political leader of MMD and then become a political leader of another. Although it is a repeated thing, if we were to talk about some of this history, when he became voted in 2012, he was a leader of his own personal political party. We have records. At registers, Major Kachingo went and searched and came with a document. We have documents. Only when he was questioned that we made the mistake to vote somebody who had dual membership at MMD, it brought Major Kachingwe problems. And the only general secretary that was voted in, the general secretaries, when you count the numbers from the time that Dr. Mumba has been there, I think there could even be 20. And none of those were voted in. So what local standards are they talking about to even call for today's to be a convention? I have said the feedback we've got, the members who were called were told it was a consultative meeting. Because we are in court, we could not interfere. They are members. Today I can say now we are not a faction. We have remained MMD. And I want to tell the nation and the world at large that the members remains intact. It's not the name that has changed because Dr. Mumba and his team has no powers. And in any case, who proposed the change of the name? Where did it come from? We can't question because it wasn't MMD convention. We are seeing the faces in there. We know one another. MMD is a family. I can talk about even some who have even since gone to be with the Lord and some who are still there. You go to Kaputa, up to Kazungula. You can go up from Shangombo to Chama. We know our leaders. Those are not even delegates that were picked from these districts. I've given you an example of Mongo. It was from one compound. Probably it could even be a family. Those were picked from the street here in Lusaka. If you watch that video where he was shouting when he was greeting them, now he had to do the symbol of the hour. MMD. MMD, oye. If you talk about the Central, nobody responded. Only Lusaka responded because the people were staged. Now, it's the water under the bridge. He was giving channels of defecting to a new of his political party. As we are talking now, Save MMD has saved the MMD, and now we remain with MMD. Let me say this. Save MMD, we are not in alliance with any political party. This just opens up the door to get organized, go back to do intra-party, put everything in place before we talk of any alliance. But in an event where some political parties emerge and members feel they can go and work with anybody, we are free now. Because we can now work with any political party, it be UPND, it be Tayari's party, it be Anford parties, it be Kateka's party. It is up to the members, not me who is speaking. By the way, I am not the president because in MMD, we don't appoint presidents, we elect them at the convention. And the electoral college comes in from intra-party, and that is democracy that we know. Not what we were subjected by Dr. Mumba. It's good riddance, and we say, wish him lucky. Now that maybe he's going to be a life president of a new political party, if that is the guidelines of the constitution that they are going to put, our constitution is there, and the custodian is the registrar of societies. The guidelines are there. Now, in an event where we are doing intra-party and there are questions, it's not anybody to come and question. It will be the people on the grassroots themselves who will know who is in good standing of the party. Because we know we are a family. But let me take advantage of this,
Honorable
Ambassador.
Sichilima.
Now that we've had...
Honorable Sichilima,
Yeah.
are you not being
Yes,
naive?
Ambassador, thank you.
First of all, this man who we are talking about, Dr. Nevas Mumba, first has a close association with the president. His faction, the MMD, is in alliance with the UPND. It's been sent on presidential assignments, for example, what he was talking about as SADC head of mission to Zimbabwe. Now that he has made these changes, are you not afraid that he will take these minutes and take to Registrar of Societies, and tomorrow your MMD party will now be called New Nations Party? Because you are taking it that he has just defected and he has formed a new party. But what is likely going to happen by next week is that probably the records may be changed at the Registrar of Societies. And secondly, you say the matters are in court. Just enlighten my viewers, which matter is this that is in court?
The matters that are in court, we appealed the matter of 2021, the one that we lost in court. There is the people that he was working with. I'm insisting on the people that we are working with. Those that we had differences, who took us to court that we didn't do intra-party, and they were rightful in the office, and they won that matter, we didn't do intra-party. When time came in for them to go to the convention, they reminded Dr. Mumba within themselves. And when he refused, they realized that Save MMD was on a right track. They reminded him that even the tenure was over. We need to go to the convention. They have taken him to court. That matter is in court. He may go to Registrar of Societies Unless we are saying now in Zambia things have changed, that you can go and plant potatoes and you come to harvest from the same plant tomatoes. It is in common knowledge, and when that happens, this is what we are saying. MMD was not enshrined to come and create dictators. What then if Dr. Mumba couldn't respect the constitution at a political level? Suppose he was given an opportunity to lead the country, would he have respected the national constitution? Unless he's saying the current UPND would follow Dr. Mumba's path to go and change the names at the registrar of societies, going with the potatoes in the hands and hoping to go and find the tomato. What am I saying? He has left MMD and he has formed a new party called the New National Party, on which records they are at the Registrar of Societies. I would congratulate him if he goes to change, or rather deposit the names Dr. Mumba and everybody that is following, because I know they didn't even have elections, to go and submit to say these are office bearers of New National Party. Us in MMD, we have nothing to do with it. Just like I can't go and ask Kateka's political parties office bearers. Now we have departed completely. Before we differed only on constitution and how to run MMD. Now that there is a new party, which me who is speaking, I'm not a member. I'm talking about MMD. And what is even more interesting, some of those delegates you saw, the few that I've said came from Mongo and Kaoma. Some of them have even now come to tell us, we came in for MMD meeting, not convention, but we are being told to change a political party. And we have embraced them. We are not going to punish them. I want to take also the advantage of all those that are listening. If they were with Dr. Mumba like Tobias Maliti, who is the national chairman, and working with the Save MMD in order for us to come and follow the guidelines of the convention. There is no hatred. And if this country, we are talking of what we are promised, guidelines of the laws, rules, and respect human rights, and we chose to be a multi-party, this is the time that I feel our friends in the ruling government, UPND, should lead. Because the Registrar of Societies is under the Office of Home Affairs, which I was even privileged to work from. I know the guidelines. Yes, one may say, who is now going to be a president of MMD? I want to say to the nation, you are free. Yes, Sichilima's name may appear because my colleagues picked me to lead. Not elected. I am not the president. It is open. We don't even have a name to say tomorrow maybe Ambassador Mwamba will be a president or Madam Nelly will be a president. No. As we are talking, we have no president in MMD. To have the president in MMD, we have to find now a team which is going to be announced in order to prepare the intra-party elections. And at some point, we come to choose an independent body which is going to be run by a lawyer. And we usher the delegates into the convention through the guidelines of choosing leaders at branch, choosing leaders at constituency, choosing leaders at district, choosing leaders at the province, which we haven't had from 2012. MMD ended up being a contember. And that's why we should take also the blame, Ambassador. This I must mention without fear. The checks and balances, at what point do you say? Because some of the checks and balances, you need to voice out as an opposition political party collectively. But what we saw, it would only come from one person, Dr. Mumba, as long as he says. With regard to him being sent as a mercenary to do the government work, the president has a prerogative. We are not questioning that. The president has a prerogative to appoint him to go and do any work. I'm sure even in his new party and his new role, he would. But he went to announce the alliance of MMD. At what forum was it suggested? I've given you an example. When he took us to PF, we went to extraordinary conference at NRDC, and not even to shy away. That conference was sponsored by PF, organized by Dr. Mumba. We have the letters. They are there. There at a conference, it was proposed. It's not everybody who agreed that we should go into an alliance with PF. Some rejected it, some agreed, and that is the beauty of MMD. But when Save MMD wrote a letter to the General Secretary of UPND to see if we could participate, and one reason was that if we could start participating democratically, we have never been answered. Before we knew it, Dr. Mumba was on a platform and announcing the alliance. It was not agreed by anybody. We had a consultative meeting within Save MMD before we wrote that letter. I can declare interest that I signed that letter because my colleagues sat and deliberated, and we argued as for the same, and that's for right. That's why later on we stayed in Save MMD. We hadn't been in any alliance with anybody. That's why you saw us not participating in any of these by-elections that was happening. By the way, the Save MMD coming from Mutati, we produced 3 members of parliament, 400 councillors when we participated in general elections. Dr. Nevas Mumba has never produced not even a councillor. As we are talking, in parliament, we don't have not even a member of parliament. Now, isn't that failure to award members, which is a democratic right if you are an MMD, according to our constitution, to question leadership? And it's any member. You don't have to come to any platform, branch, or whatever. Any member, as long as you are a card carrier, you can question how the money is being used. You can question what properties are being misused. You can question the way the party is being run. But in Dr. Mumba's tenure, when you question, you are suspended. It's good riddance, and we are saying bravo. The only brave thing that my brother has done is to form another political party, just like Mutati did and many others. The issue of going to change the names is not a warning, but it's a reality. It has been done before. It is at their own peril. One, the UPND, who is government. Because the president is not just the president of UPND, he's the president for all of us. We are not in government, we are in opposition. But we are saying the rules and regulations must be followed. There are laws there at the Registrar of Societies. I doubt if anybody can go and allow somebody coming with a new national party and change the office bearers of MMD. So which laws are we talking about? So to answer you, Ambassador, and answer the nation, MMD remains as it is, and the members themselves will decide what they are going to do after all this intra-party. Because not even me, I will have powers to appoint anybody to say, tomorrow I'm going to have a general secretary. There is a consultative meeting, and I want to say the leaders that were picked interim to look at the intra-party, which again we are mandated by our constitution, right? We are mandated by our constitution that we need to do that. But our friend never did anything. Everybody that he has been running with were all just appointed, some from church, some we don't even know where they are coming from, some we don't even know their background. But it's a democratic right of every citizen to join any political party that so wishes. All I can say.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Honorable Sichilima. Thank you very much, Honorable Sichilima. So we'll be going, colleagues, to phone lines. The phone lines are open. You've heard the former Mbala MP, who's also former MMD minister, and he's leading a group called Save the MMD, and they are currently in court. They've urged the MMD to go to conference so that they can elect a new leader. They've argued that the tenure for Dr. Nevas Mumba ended in 2022. Dr. Nevas Mumba, on the other hand, has always held that there was a period he lost the control of the party. So it's like he compensates himself for more years. But the development today, where he held what is purported to be an extraordinary conference, that has given him a new lease, a new mandate, and he appears to be the new leader of this new political party they've announced, has raised, in fact, national debate for various reasons. MMD is historical in this country. People remember that it wrestled power from UNIP, that is a pioneer of democracy, and to change its name, many observers are uncomfortable with that. Two, you have stakeholders, key stakeholders like Mr. Sichilima and his group, who say, no, we are waiting for a general conference or even an extraordinary conference to elect a new leader. But here it was, Dr. Mumba held what he is calling a fifth extraordinary convention, and he has made these announcements. You can join the debate or you can ask any question to Honorable Gaston Sichilima.
Why is there no load shedding in Saudi Arabia? And there's load shedding here, where there's rain, where there's water. There's no rain, there's no water. Brain power, thinking, vision, ichimonwa. Munenu ali mwewa takwata ichimonwa. Mamu fiantamo, mamu bika. So today you are complaining. There is no issue of climate change. It's the leadership, it's the vision that is lacking. Because the sun is shining more when there's no rain. Do you know the opposite of rain? The opposite of rain is heat, is sun. So when it rains, you can produce, under UPN you produce power by enhancing hydro, electricity generation. When there's no rain, lesser rain, it's hot, it's sunny, we generate power from solar power stations. That's the difference.
That's the 50 megawatts that you spoke about.
Yeah, but 50 in each province gives you 500 megawatts. But if you put 100 megawatts in each province, it gives you 1,000 megawatts. And you start exporting.
Good evening. We seem to have a first caller. Caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening. Thank you. My name is Charlotte. I have a question for the Honorable Sichilima. And my question is, after the convention of Dr. Mumba this afternoon, have you checked with the Registrar of Societies whether MMD is still in the books?
Good. We'll ask him that question. What are your fears?
The fears and the concerns is, of course, it's, you just highlighted that this is history. This is history, and, MMD has been known as the party that, introduced, the multi-party democracy in Zambia, right? From UNIP to MMD. So it's quite historical. But that aside, it's just very concerning to hear how Sichilima is describing the whole process. And these are quite key players. How come they were not on board? that Dr. Mumba had gone ahead to do what he has done and what he's calling the new party. But then there's this MMD, because what we're going to learn tomorrow, I'm thinking, is that the MMD is the new party. And then what do we do then? What about those people that did not participate? What is the constitution of the MMD saying? Who was present? Was the executive there? Who gave the mandate to go ahead? And then there's also another big concern. If indeed the former MMD is the new party, what are we doing to our democracy as a country?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Ambassador Emmanuel Mumba.
Good evening.
I am Kefas Mwapemusonda, calling you from Kabwe Central Province.
Yes, my brother. Make your contributions.
Sichilima, how are you?
He can hear you.
Thank you very much. Let me give a little bit of a background. I started politics in 2006 when I was elected as a branch chairman for Kaniki A branch in Ndola under MMD. I rose to the position of what chairman for Kaniki Wat. Later on, I became the MMD district youth chairman with Mr. Mkea, who was my chairman for the district in Ndola. Subsequently, I decided to leave MMD because of the wrangles that erupted after we had lost power to the Patriot Front. It pains me, Ambassador Emmanuel Mumba, to see the party that ignited the spirit of politics in me to go into oblivion today. It pains me. And what Comrade Nevas Mumba has done to this political party that brought multipartyism into this country, I think I don't know. However, I am appealing to you, the Save MMD, to go to the courts and save the name MMD. The name MMD is an historical name, which we should not in any way allow anyone to destroy, because this is a generational lesson that our young ones, one day they will come to learn that in 1972, Zambia went into a mono-party participatory. And later on in the 1990s, there came men and women who stood board high, regardless of the challenges they were facing, and they said, we will go back to multipartyism, and they made sure that the constitution was refined and redefined, that multipartyism came back into play, and President Frederick Jacob Titus Chilwa, may he so rest in peace, won the election and became the second president of Zambia. Today, as we stand, it is unfortunate that Dr. Mumba, a man from the pulpit, a man who fought so hard and made sure that anyone that talked about MMD was brought down and people were made to run away from MMD. Today, as we speak, he has decided to change the name of a party that has gone into the books of history, that this is a party that brought multipartyism. It is unfortunate. It is unfortunate not only to the UPND, it is unfortunate to Zambia, because a lot of books needs to be rewritten. And how are we going to rewrite history if anyone was going to ask you, Ambassador, how you became so prominent into politics, where you served even as a public figure to the second office in the Republic of Zambia, up to the day that President Jacob Titus Chiluba, may he so rest in peace, departed and answered the call to rest where his forefathers are resting. Even in your heart, Mwamba, your heart is bleeding. Regardless of you today joining Patriot Front, you still hold the bloodstream of MMD. How can we preserve the name MMD? Sichilima, ukulanda mwalanda fye bwino sana. However, by tomorrow, MMD today, as long as it has transformed its name from MMD to new whatever national party, I think I don't see MMD into existence. But I want to raise this voice, Baba Ambassador. MMD destroyed UNIP in some way. MMD was destroyed by Patriotic Front. Patriotic Front is being destroyed today by the UPND. And if we continue in this same trajectory, UPND will be destroyed by the party that will come into government. But what needs to stand out, regardless of us talking about numbers, what needs to stand out is the preservation of the names, especially political parties that have ruled this country. They need to be preserved. I wish I had the monies. I wish I had the finances such that I can put an end especially to the name MMD. MMD, Bamwamba, has made a lot of people who are leaders today. MMD, Bamwamba, has made this country to have the multipartism that we can talk about, to have even presidents that
Thank you, my brother. There is a queue of people. Yeah, there's a queue of people coming. Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Hello, caller. Please tell us where you're calling us from.
Good evening. Good evening, Ambassador Mumba.
Good evening.
And good evening, Gaston, Honorable. My full name is Trustford Lumichomba. First of all, to be honest with you, without fear or favor whatsoever, whensoever and howsoever, this is the greatest betrayal my Batata Bamumba can do to the democracy of this country. Why do I say so? Honorable Mbita Chitala is still alive. He knows what they went through. It took the late Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, may he so rest in peace. Imagine Kaunda kuisa iwesha mo warini ntamba lukuta ewa bantu bale tina aisa iwesha mo mutima to say no. Banemweba unipi bananji. Let's hear to the cry of the Zambian people. For the sake of multipartism, let us allow elections to be conducted. I'm the nephew to the late Dr. Emem Shota. May he so rest in peace. He's the one that mentored me to be who I am. All the way from Pambashe, Kawambwa. This time I was going to be a witch. Bamwamba, you remember. Look at the
You were going to be a witch in Pambashe.
Yes, I did not been for the late Dr. Mshota. Yes, to be honest. Now, let me remind our Fiashiles Mumba. I mean, honestly, I've been a very good, it's been a good, I think, person that I was looking up to. But to be honest with you, Kaunda in the grave is standing. My late Remy Mshota is standing in the grave. Arthur Wiener, who held, is it card number 1 or card number 2, be able to correct me? Because those were the brave people who had to confront Kaunda, but Kaunda Vale Batina. You know the history, I think the problems or the fighting that went on between my late uncle Dr. Remem Shota, we even declared Kaunda stateless. Those guys went and sat in Garden House so that they could just push for multipartism. Now, like the earlier caller said, we are killing democracy. We want to akwalesa, to apapata. Let us be Christians. We always talk about being a Christian, but we are far away from being Christian because our deeds. By Manuel Mwamba, my brother, to be honest with you, there's certain things that I can say here, anyway. But for the good of democracy, by Gaston Sichilima, you were a minister in MMD. I think you were deputy minister, also of the vice president. You were a very good colleague to my late uncle, Dr. Remem Shot, and all these other MMD. We went to Akwalesa. I organized the reconciliation meeting between the late RB Banda with Bamumba. Bamumba snapped that meeting at Mika Hotel. So please, we don't think to let Pitamo. So do not allow us. Do not even when kanshi. Whenever Mumbanishi.
Oh, the callers are angry. Mr. Chombai is very angry. He thinks that it's a big betrayal. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
This is Tirimbike Zulu from Lusaka, Zambia.
Mr. Zulu, make your contributions.
Yeah, it's a pity that we are walking the same path with Dr. Mumba. After the 2001 elections, opposition parties went into an alliance, and Dr. Mumba was appointed spokesperson for that alliance. He abandoned the alliance without informing anyone, went to MMD. He was president for NCC by that time. Went to MMD and became the vice president eventually. Now this is 2025 and Dr. Mumba is doing the same things again. I think this is very shameful, coming from a man of his stature and a person who held the second highest office in the country. You know, Dr. Mumba should be a role model. Dr. Mumba should be a member of society whom we should be running to for counsel. But his conduct of late leaves much to be desired. And what is worrying is the fact that it has become very easy nowadays to change office bearers of a political party. It has become very easy for anyone to wake up and say, this meeting I called is a general conference and we have elected new leaders. Where has this come from? A general conference has got procedure. It has got a person who's authorized to call that general conference. So, what Dr. Mumba held today, that is just a sham. As others are saying that it was just a meeting that was called. Let us call it as such. But for Dr. Mumba, I think the man needs to change. And it's so embarrassing. I submit.
Thank you very much. Let me take two more calls so that then we can allow you, Honorable Sichilima, to answer. Let me take two more calls. We've received those calls from angry callers at the latest development. Let me receive those two calls.
Let us give him our continued support to enable him lead this great organization with all his power. I thank you all for listening. Thank you so much.
Let's give a hand for the National Secretary, Honorable Chitika, please. Let's encourage Jama Piama Pino Tupundumukwai. I don't know why today the energy levels are a bit low.
Of his nation is number one. You can be angry with a bad neighbor or a good neighbor, but you have to make sure that the interests of your country are protected. It does not mean you have agreed with what has happened in your neighbor's house. But it is important as a leader to be sure. What I'm not happy about is
Honorable Sichilima, let's go to the callers that have expressed their views before some are calling. But let me take your views about the callers that have spoken.
Well, I've heard, and indeed it's a very sad moment. Callers are emotional and we're speaking the same language. The first caller was worried about the names being changed at the Gesture of Society. We foresaw all this happening. When we say we are in court, we have been very, very civil. I doubt if there is anybody in government or indeed in opposition or indeed any member would come and say 7MMD have been confrontational. We followed through the channels. We have written letters, including today. We wrote letters a couple of weeks ago to Registrar of Societies in warning them because we knew what was being done. The members that Dr. Mumba has been working with are our members. We have been working together. I was even safely in some forums saying, we are one. Whatever they were discussing, we were able to know. It reached a stage, whatever we were discussing, whether we were factions, we were able to know. But each group, I'm talking about the members, there was every hope that one day, the leaders were going to sit together and say what is the way forward of intra-party and all these differences about the guidelines of the constitution, especially that his tenure ended in 2022. What about the rest? Were they just going to follow? So I want to say to the callers that we have since written letters to Registrar of Society, and in the event of something happening, they will definitely be subpoenaed. Our lawyers wrote to actually warn. Now, let me say this. If we continue at the level at which some of these things we saw, like the caller said, the names would be changed at the Registrar of Societies. Members of Zambia, if at all President Hakainde is at State House and some reason somebody walks to Registrar of Society to go and change office bearers of UPND, what are we saying? That is anarchy. So where are the laws put in place? We drive in this country on the right-hand side. From nowhere, I just decide to start driving on the left-hand side. Won't I collide with other motorists? It's the same thing that ichipingo wapingilo munobe nawe nichikakukonka. Some caller mentioned that MMD destroyed UNIP. To the contrary, yes, we saw people running around because there was some accountability being questioned and all that. But I want to tell you, when I became a minister, I served with some of the UNIP members of parliament appointed to be ministers. Mukondo Lungu, when I went to Home Affairs, he was my cabinet minister. I deputized, I was MMD. Mukondo Lungu was UNIP. Not until later on when he defected to MMD. And many others. We had the Honorable Masebo from RP. I deputized her when I was at local government. So we started setting standards that we need to coexist because MMD was a democratic party. MMD appointed ministers from FDD, including UPND, except in UPND, I must say some of them were suspended and went to by-elections and they served. I want to assure the nation, I can't say the former president, Dr. Mumba of MMD, the former vice president, who we shared a lot of things. When he was being appointed, I can today say it, when he was being appointed as a vice president, I was a chairman of Northern Province. I was one of those that Mwanawasa consulted and asked. The only difference was that he came to me, chairman, I've decided to bring in Dr. Mumba. Now, who am I? Because politics is about numbers. Dr. Mumba came to join the Northern that time because we had given him Mwanawasa almost 100% of the votes. Those who were there, or I'm sure everybody can remember, that we had more members of parliament and we had more votes from Northern Province. It was more or less like a running mate. Just like when we lost Pando Moape, he called me, Honorable Mwanawasa, His Excellency Mwanawasa, may he rest in peace. And he says, we have lost Lupando Moape, you see what I'm going to do to you, chairman. And before we knew it, we had the Rupia Banda. So what I am saying is, MMD is intact. We're factions. Again, I want to say, unless the rules and laws are not followed, if you were a faction and the other team decides to dump us and they leave, then it remains only one group, which is MMD. At the Registrar of Societies, it is this group remaining with MMD to go and claim and change the office bearers after elections, as we are talking. I want to assure members of the public that we have written letters to Registrar of Societies, we have written letters to the Minister of Home Affairs, we have written letters to the Attorney General. We didn't want to be confrontational. Yes, at some point we had to be angered, because why is it one faction is a darling and the other faction is not a darling? Now that Dr. Mumba has left, especially that he's in an alliance, I don't know whether the new political party is in alliance. But of course, we know the games that Dr. Mumba plays. It's not my duty. If he was in MMD, we would say he's being treacherous because sooner or later he will appear on the ballot box. Especially that on MMD, he said we were not going to contest the presidency, we are going to support President HH. Who decided that? It's a big question. Now that there is a new political party, again, let him announce that the new national party is not going to participate in election. Come and cut my last finger. The man went for a running mate. Before we saw it, he was contesting. He ended up on a ballot box. The last elections where he had 14,000 votes, he went to UPND and he ended up on. He went to denounce at the Garden Hotel there, to denounce the alliance of UPND. Today, as we are talking about, he said he was in alliance with UPND. Now that there's a new party, I would want him to announce again the alliance. With regard to MMD, I want to assure the nation and you, Ambassador, and anybody, the callers that have cared, I appreciate MMD made Dr. Mumba what it is through President Mwanawasa appointing him a vice president. It's only that out of principle, I doubt what runs in the minds of the former vice president. President HH is riding on the goodwill of the previous presidency to have considered Dr. Mumba as a vice president under MMD. We don't know how Dr. Mumba can thank MMD. Not Sichilima, not President Mwanawasa, not President Chiluba, but how to thank MMD. MMD lifted him up from National Neka Party to that of a vice president. And there's a lot that I shared with him when he was our vice president. He is our former vice president. We have pleaded. There was even a time one lady came in reconciliation. Before we knew it, it was headline. I think it was in a must then, if not a post. Sichilima and the team, they came back kneeling. I don't mind going to kneel what is justifiable. Even if we were trying to talk, even if you are in court, people still talk. We could have talked and we could have done intra-party. Who knows? The same man I'm saying, Dr. Mumba, cannot run MMD. Others would have said he was going to run MMD. It happened at Rupia Banda. It's not everybody wanted Rupia Banda to be a president of a political, our party. He was coming from UNIP. Others said because it's not MMD, we want MMD, but he ended up and we accepted it. Me, who is speaking, and a few others, we are democratic. I was a minister in MMD, and it means a lot. When my father was UNIP.
Let me just take this call. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
I'm calling from Montana.
Oh, yes, sir. Make your contributions.
Mumba, thank you so much for bringing up this discussion. Although I wouldn't like to dwell very much on our neighbors Mumba, because it seems like we are getting emotional over our neighbors Mumba's actions. We know our neighbors Mumba is a finished politician who wants to resuscitate himself by giving him some oxygen from us, the people. Otherwise, he doesn't have any oxygen in politics in Zambia today. You know, Bamwamba, how MMD was formed. You were in that party. Sichilima Balanda, of how we worked very hard to put together that party, regardless of the powers that were embedded in UNIP as a party by that time. Him changing it to New National Party, I think it's disingenuous for him to do that. Nevers has a right to form his own party anytime. Rather than hijacking another party like he did, why can't he just form his own party? That way, MMD, like UNIP, still remains on record as existent parties that were formed in that country, Zambia, and it had leaders like Sichilima is saying, and everybody else. Let our party that we fought for very hard and that resuscitated multipartyism into the country still exist. We don't want that name to die. Us who put our lives online that time when Wakanda was one of the most powerful leaders on the continent, we want that name to still exist in our history. Let him not remove that name at all. Kubantu bambi, it can become personal. It can become personal, Bamwamba. Sorry, I'm speaking in Bemba. I love my language, regardless of being here in this country in the US for 32 years. I still cherish my language, just like I cherish the name MMD. I was the first Copper Belt Youth Chairman for MMD on its inception until I came to the US in 1994. Why should my name be erased by the change of the name by Nevers Mumba? And his cohorts, whoever is working with, vamwe vatipanga patent patinga kuite ukapenda pali vana rumango. Let him just say, I'm independent, and because there's no people is taking from MMD to go join that alliance. Nobody is moving with him. Why can't he just do the right thing? Just for once in his life. He tried to kufia kwa lesa na wasakana tawe teiwe. Number na kuma politics so tabatampiro. When did he become MMD? He was not part of MMD when that party was formed. Please, Vanevas, we have important things to discuss in that country. You cannot become one, please, please, please. Muliba fiashi, but not for me, actually, we're almost closer. Muliba fiashi, but ushekwena obu fiashi tabuisa kono tumano kupano na tichinde tata chueme. Now, selfishness, is this how we go? We don't want you to be the topic of discussion. We want the economy. We want the laws. We want all these things that people are like in a fair shala. For today, to discuss, not Nevers Mumba, please. Now, fini tactic at your change tefi. I want to change the focus. Ito apapata.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kalonde from Montana is giving counsel to Dr. Nevers Mumba. Honorable Sichilima, let's begin to wind down. In your what are you going to save the MMD with this new development? Are you going to meet? Are you going to go to court? What happens? Like many people are fearing that we might just wake up that your party will have been changed. Looking at the proximity of Honorable Nevers Mumba to the UPND.
Well, in the first place, and again, I'm not shy to say this, if the name MMD is changed, then the blame will go to UPND government.
Honorable Sichilima, let me just take this
when the laws...
Let me just take this call for you. Hello, caller. I was about to close, but you can quickly make your contributions.
Okay, thank you so much, Mumba, for this opportunity, and Honorable Sichilima, thank you so much for the words of wisdom. I think, Mumba, our country is under attack. And I've been saying this for quite some time, and I don't know why people did not see when, you know, we've been talking about our independence, the second independence of our country, that our country is under attack. What if someone cannot respect MMD as an institution? That is the biggest betrayal any Zambian could do, not just for MMD, but to every Zambian. The way we fought for our democracy, some of us were kids, but our fathers fought for democracy, and for him to just come and try to erase the history and try to suit himself to be in that position where he can stand there and things like he's doing things for the Zambian. Our country is under attack. The same thing has been happening. You remember, just a few days ago, we had one of our fathers that was sad, almost crying on TV, Fred Membe, with the attack that was going to happen in his party. And now this happens to MMD. This is deep. And you could hear from the comments, even for me, I was hesitating to call because I wanted to cool down and relax. Because this, the attack they are doing on our democracy and our independence that people died for, may God fight for us. That's the only thing I could say. But may God fight for us because we need this second independence and get rid of all this nonsense that's happening so that we leave this country for our children in a better place. Not what these guys are trying to do. They've taken our country back to the things that we had in the 1950s. But God will deliver us, Wamwamba. That man was saying Zambia shall be saved. But what he meant was Zambia shall be destroyed. And Zambia shall be deceived. And that's what he was doing. You know? But God, Wamwamba, is saying, and will deliver our country in the second independence that we're fighting for. Let's all come together. Let's all come together and take these people out so that we get our MMD back. We get our PF back. Even you need all these great institutions. They define who we are. Thank you so much, and may God see us through this situation again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Robam from UK. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
This is from Livingston.
Yes, Wamwewa.
I am going to tell Mamba. Teposhako Vena Zambia Bonse. Chitika kuri Vanevas Mumba. For me, interpretation, I think that word out, but I think that one has been a disturbance. So, Vaifunyapo, Vavikapo National Shan Patuk. So, for my interpretation is that I agree with the just ended previous caller. My problem very deep, and we are under attack. I agree with the previous caller. For me, the interpretation is that if you one part state, my book share message by Pera Bakateka, late legend. I think the message was very clear. He narrated how it was in the one part state, where the president mentioned that no muntu mpepite tuishive ngani spy wa or on student. But it's like about 3 years that was shenepo no yomuntu. But it's already a shiriva president. So my interpretation is that actually one part state, and this is not something that anybody must joke about. Yesterday, I mentioned that ama science baturanga eng sana, and if Zambians we don't unite today, turanga go to masampo. Remember what happened kumufumbwe kukopa beot abene barandati umukuba ebulimi baire ku bulimi kumufumbwa abantu. What were the results? Bantu balifu. So, Mumba Mumba. The first time that he messed up, according to my memory, is a time when he was a vice president under Mr. Levi Manawas. By the Congo, he sneaked out of the country via Congo. I don't know whatever reasons he went there. What happened? He was fired by Levi Manawas. The next time he sneaked out of the country was in 2021 by the Congo. He was even televised on national TV. And the Avena Campion gave a shape for them there. Aranda na TV in the February. But up to now, Shiva Congo Mdara. Now, he has been MMD president from 2012 to 2025. According to their constitution, but the constitution is just like that of the country, where a term is 5 years. Mumba, he has served more than 10 years, and I'm told this is the 14th year. He is not democratic. Now, a former minister, but still Mabari Randare. Number Zambia shall be saved. Mumba ni Zambia nshi. Zambia abantu bali mu kufungo. Zambia abantu bali kakwa. Nimera ndisho bafuta. Zambia iya raba saved. Turashika baita garungu. Number turashika baita garungu. Yesterday, yes, akwana 5 months. Mumba Zambia shall be saved. Zambia isa. Our guys are spirit bakwete this spirit yako for one. This spirit yako ya fabeka. Utungurushi is a burden. Leadership is not a privilege. But lero wakati kutubarando ko narashitira abantu ama tickets 30,000 bakayamkutamba bora mayo. How many women are suffering? Over 30,000 never bora barashitira feni wacha kurafya. But ama priorities ya Zambia shall be saved. Yere Monica Muntu akuke from MMD to another party, akushe leadership. At what expense? Now, maybe in Zambia, let's be on the lookout of what's happening. Ama signs in Yafula.
Thank you. Thank you, Wamwewa. Thank you, Wamwewa. Let me take the last call. There's been a persistent caller. Let me just take the last call. Then we allow Sichilima to wind up, answer, and then wind up the debate. Let me just take the last caller who has persistently been calling. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
My name is Joseph. I'm actually calling you from Aberdeen.
Yes, Joseph, please make your contributions.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Honorable former Minister Sichilima. You know, to be honest, that man is actually, he's a case. He's a case that Zambia has had in the political arena for the longest time. The man is a failed personality, you know, politically. He's, to borrow what His Excellency would actually say, Basata is an impotent person politically. Mumba has no shame in his behavior. You know, this man by now would have been looked at as a statesman, but this is a man that will do anything for money. You know, that's a man that is moved and driven by money. He doesn't care. You know, he's so shameless. That is history, for God's sake. MMD is history. UNIP is history. We understand you cannot erase, you know, these movements and bring in your own things. If he wanted, he would have left MMD with the people that love it, with the people that are willing to die for it. But you cannot auction a party that has stood and was established and fought for multi-party democracy. Our children have to look unto our past and say, yes, there was a party that was led by great men. Mumba came in as a visitor in MMD, but he has managed to hold on to power and want to destroy MMD at its cost for his personal benefits. What kind of a man? I actually call him a man of Golide, not a man of God. Sometimes I refer to him as a former man of God because of his behavior. Politically, he is the biggest problem that we have in Zambia. I can tell you, Banevas has really contributed to the bad governance of Hakainde Sichilima because he advises and he speaks to him. You cannot behave like this. He's an old man, he's an old man, but his behavior is terrible. I urge the Honorable and the team, fight this, please. We are really under attack as a country. We need our democracy. And when you see people that are hell-bent at destroying anything that was known historically, just know that there is a problem. And this is where we are headed to. We say no to one-party state. We refuse that behavior. And this man is such a shame. Sometimes I just feel bad even talking about him. It's not worth it. It's a disgrace.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Honorable Gaston Sichilima, you've heard at least from the number of viewers that we've allowed to speak because we wanted to sample the views. Please answer whoever you wish to answer and make your last remarks as we close the program. For our dear viewers, thank you very much for your call. I'll come and make closing remarks after Honorable Sichilima has made his remarks.
Firstly, I want to thank everybody that has called and to those that are following. The assurance I want to do is to assure the nation that MMD will live on. Whether there is Sichilima or not, MMD must live on. When this happened, we have, and I must mention, because you see it unfolding, it won't be like a fight, but I want to say the legal minds of people, the learned lawyers have teamed up on pro bono. This time they have come forward to fight for this cause. Just in an event where this has been misunderstood. MMD is intact. Dr. Mumba has formed a new political party with his colleagues, which are of his democratic right. But to touch for MMD and leave it like it just melts and goes never to exist, what anger has gone into Dr. Mumba and his colleagues. I have said this is now open, as we are democratic, to the well-wishers that want to help, because this is not just a mere fight. Others are calling, we may have demons somewhere. I join them because I'm also a Christian. I can't understand. From nowhere, I just portray the anger of saying, I want this political party to go into oblivion. It's not right. What about our children? We chose to be democratic. As I speak, I've got nephews. Some are serving in UPND. They are councillors. We have children who believe in UPND. But I'm MMD. I personally, I want to repeat, I was a minister in MMD, but my father was UNIP. He died a UNIP when I was a minister. Why can't we coexist? The people that are out there and save MMD, they will make a decision. It's not my decision. The same way they made a decision to go to the convention in 2016, the same way they made a decision to vote 3 members of parliament and 400 councillors, they will do it again. But it's up to the Zambians. Even as I speak here, I don't own MMD. Nobody owns MMD. Not even Dr. Mumba, like one caller said. Dr. Mumba was not even there. I remember very well. I worked in the mines and I know Dr. Mumba very well. He pronounced when he was asked to come and serve in Chiluba's government, ati ifwe tawatusala kukapepala, bali tusala na lesa. What has happened today? That you want to be a life president of a political party. We have said, wish you luck. Those that feel we may not have done enough, to my brothers and sisters in UPND, especially if the president is hearing, this is not helping you to leave a legacy. A legacy of Uncle Mazoka. When him and his colleagues were in trenches, imagine he was a general manager in UNIP, but he decided to go multipartism and he joined people to fight multipartism, and they brought MMD. And he practiced his democratic right. He went to form UPND. Why can't we respect Mr. Mazoka? Why can't we respect Mr. Nkumbula? Bodwin and his colleagues, they would come to the copper belt, leaving his comfortable bed, and they'll come and sleep on my spring bed, if not wooden bed. I was just a miner. I am saying and assuring Ambassador Mwamba, the Zambians, that MMD will live on. It doesn't have to take me to a president image. My phone line is open. Those who want to find me and the team, we have the team that is there. Now that we have remained on our own, we need to do what is right. Follow the rules and the regulations. We are not going to follow the constitution of PF or Heritage or Fred Members Party. We are going to follow MMD constitution, and to the latter, start from the branch. The problem is getting scared when people are getting organized. Why don't you do the right thing if you are to win the people? That's all what it is in politics. If it's the people that you are saying in terms of numbers, I can share the experience. MMD, the last elections we lost, was the best ever funded and campaigned, but we lost. The power is to the people. It's not about how many oppositions we have, political parties. The opposition is the people. Do the right thing for the people. In 24 hours, they can just turn around. Don't get scared when people are getting organized. Don't get scared when people are having political parties, political rallies. Don't get scared when people are airing their views. Arresting, how many are you going to arrest? UNIP did and they tried. I interviewed President Kaunda and he said, do what the people want. They will count the best and forget about the West. That's where we are. Dr. Mumba and your colleagues, the statement you said, you are rebranding. Rebranding is the ideologies, not changing the name. And you have no powers. He has a nation. He has no powers to change a political party. He can only form a political party. That we can't question. MMD remains multi-party democracy. The hours come and the symbol is Chwela Chwela. Pankoloko. MMD remains forever. To our colleagues who attended the fake convention, don't get scared. Your home is MMD. We know you were put on the buses without even knowing what they were going to do. I doubt even the General Secretary of UPND, my brother Imenda, is very, very civil. He could have gone there and not knowing what Dr. Mumba was going to pronounce and do next moment. Because that's what he is. He will tell you he will never be on the ballot before he realizes he's on the ballot. Let him continue in a new political party. I thank you and may God bless Mother Zambia. And definitely Zambia knows what it wants. President Mwanawasa, second term, he said, and I quote, I know what Zambians want. And in the second term, we saw President Mwanawasa performing.
Thank you, and thank you for quoting Mwanawasa. God bless you. And thank you, Honorable Sichilima, for coming at short notice. As I release you, you'll be listening to two callers that have insisted they have to speak, but you don't have to answer them. They will speak, and for you, I'm releasing you. I can let you go, but you can listen to the program. But let me just take these calls quickly. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. I've released Honorable Sichilima, but you are free to make your comment since you want to contribute.
Hello, good evening, Ambassador Mwamba, Honorable Sichilima Wonsenami Pashamkwai. Ninewa nani masindikwa kaputa kuno. Ile chimpesa chef ya mano chaku mfokti ba Right Reverend Nevers Mumba. Ralas eva issue wili kulu ukutila. Telefoya MMD ivepo. If we plan to for MMD anymore, when MMD was coming into power, now it's still unique. Unique. So I still went to vote for KK. Elobalusa, but twashala fine, then twachita continue nefiaisa. No MMD baluishishe ukuleta multi-party. So, whenever small bed of Ilem could join a multi-party, couple to Baba Peria Kakuya more diplomatic missions, Kuku Canada. But in the president one national heritage, and if I want to have Fumana Quisa, Kuyu Nip Pantata, the minimum we didn't understand it, to a young Fedaka companies are abantu. To a conquer by reverend, pant to Alino, Monama people to Alinabo. So, no reverend, ya power, anger. Ever to some Bidishawashma people that to Ilava, we should not be in anger. Until sunset, but when nobody anger Kasumano Chungulo. Icho, Bashma people, Techusuma, no class minisho quevati. Mulefa each pancha MMD into oblivion. Each pancha MMD natural but a history kulu. Each always shema out party funyapo by unipi. So we name it Timaba Quete, Yakul Fumiapo, each pantam lech fire. Each look take up in it but take Kelly. Panti don't say Kufumiapo. You look at UPND, Amo, Nachi freedom statue, she imposa Mabadi, posa Calibad Tobaula. Without realizing that teaching to just symbolize go to Afumine, to Alika Kurwa Nomba, what it into Badi Bombe Shabash Besovakali. By right reverend, Abalesa Mazanda shall be free. Nomba money for Chili. Where are we even going to continue to be free? Pantumle Kanya Ama parties I ain't go existent. However, Reverend, we're showing you Mutimakonso Komuliba, right Reverend Nevers Mumba. We showing you Mutima, the KNUP MMD Ivepo. If it was Milamri multi-party, Emland each panichon such a fial what Similisha, to a set up for Venice to the folk to each to left for to take. By left by send one over to talk better with diplomat. Tamwa Monaco by politician Valley over KBF when by UPND president Bahaka in the baby that Nisa no befumaninga from alliance. Therefore, which they demobilize. Party aba KBF from Kwaini Chinch into Pushenko. Vakana
Zambia must
prosper. Vakana, Zambia must prosper. Vakana, I can't be part of your government into demobilize my political party. Who says a child? So once a male won't be able to demobilize any other party, and we always upon a yobe. Equivalent to Milefo to West Sakuloko, Wakaunda to take 20 chakuti years. Mpaka ba unipi ba MMD whenever to talk. But never Mumba, you've never been UPND. I mean, you've never been MMD. Mwase ndeni wefe no wupe ba mishita fie kuliba maybe ba Levi Mwanawasa or whoever was there in that office that time. Ba chiluba ba mituma diplomatic missions. No wonder mwabwelele kone filu thing. You didn't know really what you were sent there for. Other politicians were position. If those in presidency that time, bali name it bange itumwenelelo. Walfanya mukakeni. Bashima people will look anymore. The things of the spirit are without repentance. Anointing if you go back to him today, mukalapepesha mchalo nokupalwa mukapalwa pantu Bible ilande mwatusambisha kuberenga ku scripture union ilanda iti your gift will bring you before kings. Umupe wenu bashima pepo kupepesha imwe ba Reverend Nevers Mumba ngemwamba fye kupepesha lelo abantu balakuntika kuma conference kukala isula.
Thank you very much, Makaputa. Thank you very much. God bless you. Yeah, let me take. I've got 2 calls that are waiting. I have. I think. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. No, not yet. Not Wamunkonge yet. Let's take. I think Dr. Kalonde. I think he's the one. Doc, you are back on the line.
Thank you, Ambassador. I really appreciate the time that you have given Mother Zambia, the voice you are giving to the people, and the having you on this platform every day, and the giving us an opportunity as Zambians to air our views, which we know that some of these views cannot be aired in Zambia, gives us hope. But at the same time, we need to put our leaders in check. Honestly, we need to put our leaders in check. When these things are happening, they are not happening from a vacuum. There is somewhere where people are getting this energy from, like Nevers Mumba, what he has done or what he wants to do. Unfortunately, and I repeat, unfortunately, mukomfwa ku registrar's office at Nabachinja MMD. This is the power of being in office by our current president, who does not look at what he's doing to the people of Zambia, the pain they are suffering. We are suffering a lot, not only because of load shedding that I'm not experiencing. I know that. Not because of shortage of the currency in the country, not because of what is going on economically, not because of seeing our copper being tracked out of the country in millions of tons as we are watching them pass through Kafalafta, Pawe Bridge, and not knowing or not seeing the money coming back into the country. It's painful. It's painful to the nation. It's painful to the future of the nation. So, Bamwamba, my request, like I had done, I want you to honor that request that I made for you to be giving us more time. That way, na abantu walipa platform hapa. If you never guest via, you give us a bit of some time to hear us, and at least somebody back home is listening. Even in some rural areas, they're listening to your show. That way they would learn a few things from what people are talking about. There are some people who are going to vote without knowing what they are voting for or how to vote. These views here, I've been following a young man, Kapia, Rooney, something like that, on his posts. It helps a lot for him to even air his view on this show. Thank you, Bamwamba, Natasha.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador Mwamba.
Good evening.
And good evening to our guest. I'm not sure of the name. I just wanted to make a quick contribution. Dr. Nevers Mumba, I believe he's the one behind even dedicating Zambia to as a Christian nation. And what is happening right now in Zambia does not demonstrate Christianity. He's such a hypocrite, and many of us are disappointed in what is going on. When we form government in 2026, it is my plea that we rededicate Zambia all over again, so that we should erase the memory of even Dr. Nevers Mumba. It is so sad what is going on, and it is so shameful to see how somebody we looked up to behaving like that. And I'm so sorry what the MMD are going through. I'm sure when the Patriotic Front was complaining, many thought they were just being crybabies. The Socialist Party has been attacked, and now it's MMD. This is the plan of Hakainde Hichilema. It is my plea to everybody from Zambia who's listening. Remove Hakainde Hichilema in 2026, or you will suffer or die. You have only two options. Either you die or you suffer. And you don't want that. He has messed up with our democracy. A lot of things are happening. People are in prison. And now he's even tampering with all political parties because he has planned to rule Zambia as a one-party state. And we should never allow that. What is happening to the MMD has already happened to the Patriotic Front for the past few years. And it is my plea that the MMD should not even join forces with UPND and form any form of alliance. You are going to destroy our country. UPND must go in 2026 with or without a political party. We can even go independent since HH is planning to close all political parties. And with a new nation party for MMD, it just shows how cheap and how jealous Hakainde Hichilema is. You know, he knows that there's a new slogan, new, which we've been using as all opposition. And, you know, we started this slogan all over social media, and even with CF Harikalaba, they've been, you know, doing all sorts of videos. And he's decided, go and disturb them, make it new party, new nation party. Well, we are going to close down that party in 2026. We are closing down UPN in 2026. We are closing down that party, whatever name it's called. And I can guarantee you, Zambians, make a wise decision by voting Hakainde Hichilema out. Anywhere where you see a symbol, it doesn't matter whether you like the councillor, whether MP, whether what, do not vote for UPND anywhere. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hello, caller, please tell us, Bamunkonge.
Ambassador,
Good evening.
Ambassador, chabulanda sana. Chabulanda fyo bukuru sana. Ine before nshlarande fili fyonse. Ndero mbako imo ba ambassador na ba Don Bosco, ba Don Nosco. Na imo ba mwamba ikare ni panshi mwalishi ba. Aba Roman Catholic bantu bamu aba tukwate chikuku pamula ndi wacharo chesu. Mtu wapitana na vena mwalifula. Na padala kakenya akashitaba ambassador ikare ni panshi na ba Don Bosco mumone mwingachita wa katolika abafyashi besu abatu bafwenshi kushonse ebalenga nokuba tukwate ntungurushe mu Zambia murandu wa masambiro ayengi techitukumemo kurondora so na papene pali ino nchita uyu muchitikisha twamona chaparo kwebati bambi pakuteke echicharo kwaliba oko bayire so kuroko bayire bali bapera program because barabantu bayire ko bali ishibe charo cha Zambia fo chaikala so pakuchona ola bali bebe fya kuchita so ifyonse bale chita fyali bakale mu program nomba katunakiri abanensuba katolika ba ambassador wireni kuri bena bamyafwe ko chichire pali ifi mure twafana patulelanda nomba fifike kuna kubekara chalo munchende shonse sha mumishi ukupitira kuri wa katolika ninchibeli yashi nokwafana na bena Zambia techi tufirwe panto na human rights pakuisa na nguni gender based violence pakuisa yonse ipitira muri wa katolika na ngufya bumi fyonse ntunguru shipitira muri wa katolika because wa katolika babe mpanga yonse eshenu kwikara popamo umone fo chara bapako batutu sebo tuleya na munchende shamishi because ine panopo mbelele inshali yakwe chiri chonse kuri unipi but umuntu winge machona ole unipi pali ino ine inshita teti mure kyawe nomba wachumo history ya maka so ine chandanga fena pa utatutu chine charengero kwebati na bana kachinda babe mu kifungo because bali ishibo kwebati bana kachinda nga bali out liliashi kuti baba puisha because bali ishiba in and out so abantu abafintu ifingisa no fo bachita plan so na ifo bali kunse ba opposition tuikala fya bapwarara twapwarara nchita ya France twambyo kubomfya intelligence twambyo kutontonganisha pantanshi tuira mukuwira mufilindi awe pali ino nchita tufikire tuwawira mufilindi pafura na ifoka tubomfye kwa mano ya buchenjeshi tutangirira okutontonkanya kwabo ngefi bamwamba babomfya amano ya buchenjeshi bamwamba olo bafumile mu kyalo omwo baali tontonganisha pantanji ekyalenga nomba nefine tukwate n'amaisosere tuleranda nolo naye mweba nandi bonse mweba bapano pa platform ndemirombako please bamwamba lyonse nga batupere elyashi ku social media shiremi mburu shayiminina pakuona ule kyalo shiresa mukwima ukuchita twist ilyashiri abamwamba fwebo mfa program paka pali bamwamba pano tuli bengine fwe bachita contribute nombanga baposta article bamwamba ali amashuyesa po mubakwisa please yonse na article katulepo korola because aba bantu bena bali chita plan yakale fwe baraona ule kyalo so bamwamba bakatolika katumani akapi batwafwe bantu munchende yamishi tabeshi byokweba tichalo nabachishitisha kusherefe okupusha transaction chalo balishitisha nomba kusherefe nshishibe nga ni transaction ya title deed nga nishani yonse ama transaction ya kushisha ichalo yali bana involved pamfo yaba kateka fyonse fyaba muri transaction ya kushisha ichalo ukona ora PF ni mu transaction ya kushisha ichalo ukona ora MMT yali kwa tama assets mu Zambia na outside Zambia nomba bamumbanga balembako ka pate ako bali kweteka pate instead bakweshafe ka pate kabo olobonesa bwabarando kwe bati bamumba libashima pepo bamumba te bashima pepo bashara fene chabupe bantu bali taramina lesa katwakwate uko bapingura nga bakaya pia bakaya kuheo nango ku heaven badira rona tukwata makaya ko bakani no kwebati nibashima pepo borao na ora Christianity bamumba bali taramina lesa abali sanguka mumburu omumburu tekwebati ninshini mpangao uro mumburu nga wangira mumpanga kwambo kulie mpanga so nelyo shina lyonse lyakulabe bati balevurandi bashani awe tuirazo sefyo yofina tube bati balevurandi na bashani na efo turarufyanya pantu cyalire ngo kwebati tukabamwena kufitwaro nomboro twamone fitwaro kwebati fya bulevurandi nishitwingara bikira po busuwati balevurandi kuri abantu abakwete ifitwaro ifisuma obo twindete kwebati balevurandi ndoro kuri batata na totera sana nde baromba mwe bafyashi pali ino nshita bwerere ni kuri ba yufi na movement yenu munchende mwansoma mwakwata ama nani kani ama branches yenu tangishe limo ba yufi babike limo sana ba yufi pali ino nshita tabara kwate okwakuya neyo ine mwe mti yonse na bena ba yufi tabasekere munga mwe bafyashi mwe ba imatware notusebo munchende mura mwansoma ba movement yenu nentunguru shishire ko bashire munekati nashikura barondorole ni kwebati pali ino istoru buri tukwete rwakura katubuli abana tubaparamike mubike amano mu bana bakwebati twesho kurwisho buburui pantu na bukoza buri wakumupashi tubika muna bayufi nga twabarekeresha bari abasenda kurishima imburu no kubarufya apapena taira batureti tureni kuri bayufi pereni bayufi into abapereni ubutungurushi na bonse barabaye karapati furo twaye mwemuti na ba PF bonse fye ikareni panshi pereni bayufi basiteni motivate baro ba PF na bena nde Mr. ko encourage kura konso kushaba member of parliament of PF na before tamura ya convention kabiyeni muchita identify ama aspiring candidates abalinga ba yufi mubabike mupepi mubapere omwera wakwe bati bakeminina kuri okushaba ama members of parliament steni adopt ama aspiring candidates pakwe bati umuriro wishiminina pantu ba yufi bararuba kurishima imburu oko shirero la takuweme aona totera bamwamba.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello?
Yes, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Okay. My name is Bishop Joseph Kansema. I'm calling from South Africa.
Bishop, make your contributions.
Yeah. I just want to make a comment on the change of the name of MMD. I take it very personal. You know, when MMD started, I was in Botswana, I think. Then I went home in Malole and had a meeting with my late cousin by Emano Kasonde. He explained how much it cost him to start MMD.
with the few friends when they were starting MMD. He spent personal money out of his company or companies together with the few when they were starting MMD. And for somebody to simply come and change the party in this way, it's very, very saddening. I respect Dr. Nevers Mumba, I know him in person, but I think he must be considerate of the founders of the MMD, the resources they spent, and if he doesn't want to continue with MMD, let him leave MMD alone. That would be the best thing to do. But at the same time, I want to say, the Zambians also must just realize that Dr. Mumba, I respect him very much, but he has made changes from one place to another, one place to another. You can't understand what he stands for. But anyway, my main calling is just to say, I really feel he has not been fair to the founders of MMD. Like I said, I want to single out my late cousin by Emmanuel Gaston. He spent a lot of energy and money in the establishment of that party. And for him to come and just change it like that is very sudden. I think that's the short comment I would just want to make.
Thank you very much, Bishop. Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Precious Inonge Mbieta from Livingston.
Yes, my dear sister.
I'm very disappointed with Mumba. That man, I don't know if indeed that man believes in God. Now we can even able to see the people who destroyed the MMD. That man is a danger to the nation, and people should not even believe in him. You remember even the time of Vachiluba and Vamanawasa. There were some betrayers, and now I believe that he's one of the betrayers who betrayed these leaders. Even in time of privatization, the current president, he was involved, and also even Barnabas Mumba. You can see they don't even care about the people of Zambia. He calls himself a man of God, but what he's doing is something else. So now, how can we believe? That's why you see myself, I always appeal to the people of Zambia. This time we don't have democracy. If indeed these leaders who say that they love the people of Zambia, if indeed they want to fight for the people of Zambia, this time they will not even start saying, even myself, I want to contest in 2026. They should just be united. Let them come together. And like for PF, all of us, we have seen what they've worked. And whatever was happening that time, it was just these betrayers who always want to betray the people of Zambia. But our former president really worked, and his leaders really worked. So this time we should believe in the people who brought development in this nation. And all those who have never been in power before, they should also learn from those who were in power. So let them come together, or the opposition, let them choose one person who can contest with Hakainde Hichilema. All we need right now is just to move him out of power, because this time now they will use anything just to keep themselves in power. So be united, work together so that you can save the people of Zambia. Please, we beg you in God's name. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Dear callers, at least I gave you more time to make your contributions. And thank you very much for your contribution. We will close the program right now. See you tomorrow. We've got a guest. Our special guest tomorrow we have a special guest tomorrow. My dear sister from Norway, Charlotte Naes Sullivan. She, runs an NGO, but she has corporate experience, and she's been working in Norway. She has contributions and views that she wants to give on the forum for our mother Zambia and her participation, as we go towards 2026. So tomorrow we host Charlotte Ness Sullivan. She should be here with us same time. So God bless you and thank you for joining us. Today we're discussing the events that have occurred under the MMD. Had invited Reverend Sambo, but it was short notice. He said he was unavailable. We wanted to hear from their side, but Nevers Mumba held what he called a 5th National Extraordinary Conference, and he changed the name of the political party. Nevers Mumba's term as president of the MMD ended in 2022, but he's been contending that there was a period the party was taken away from him, so he compensated himself new time and is expected to go to conference. But what we saw today is that he has changed the names of the party, and probably they've removed the legal limit for a president, because the president in MMD can only serve 2 terms, 2 5-year terms. Hence our special guest that also came at short notice, Gaston Sichilima, to come and give his side of the view. Gaston Sichilima is leading a team in the MMD called Save the MMD. They've been urging the leadership of the MMD to go to conference so that they can have a new leader to replace Dr. Nevers Mumba, whose term had expired. That was a discussion today, and thank you for joining us. Like we did with the developments in Socialist Party, when there's a major development, we are willing and ready just to come to media at short notice. And if you have any matter that you think requires national attention and national discussion as it is developing, EMV is your platform, and that's what we did today to host a special broadcast. So see you tomorrow. God bless you, and God bless our country.
Lero bwacha bakamba mu kyalo ky'esu kya Zambia ekyaweka Njoy. Abantu baafo bakamba kule mu nfumbwe. More than 20 people balebe pati ni babiri. Bagamba. Fish to arufyanya. People have died. Mumino yabakapokola. The police killing people. Why? In the same government bagamba. Abductions have happened. Bagamba. If you're not with them, it's either you're dead or you're in prison. This government, you're going to change big man. Fish to Arfianya Pakubika office. Fish to Arfianya. Why me? Missing. Achani Rubamwaicho and Dizona. Where is why me? HH, tell us with your government, where is why me? Give us why me. Justice for why me, big man. Wachila mo HH. Wala tupwisha bega kutupwisha bagamba. Katwale kyokulanda big man. Oh, you think? Maina matata. Sambe tuwasevana. Bagamba. Wanesa tuwapweni. Mujala jesu. It's ya Zambia. Tuamona mwepwa. Bagamba. Tuamona mwepwa. Nama abductions bagamba. Uwubuteko tuwaleta. Wadulete lama amazala mush. No you can take her. Kola ipompa today. No you can take her. Apa nomba bane. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Wakukota bane. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Makufuatika. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Makufuatika fuatika. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. When you die kwa fwe. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Aikona man. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Ita yakwa fwe. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Yakuliati kwenyu. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mayona batata. Mayona batata. bayuthi tiyentwisule amenso batusendela nomba batwipaila na hope yesu endikachagwa lungu watwebela tinani mikwatila plan B nomba tuwadishiba plan B abamumino yakuwalesa bantu banga abalafa mukyalo kyesu kya Zambia nibanga abantu abala ababducted mukyalo kyesu kya Zambia bambire kuli jeje banda nibanga abantu abala ba prison abena chitotela chilangwa bonze baba prison netunguru shina shimpi muri one government yakwa HH abantu naba famweleza aikata nomba baikata kuyetika chakwa lungu atukwatile plan B abakubo byabyo omufulo big bad mufulo ba mufulo bilabine batsendela yetika chakwa apa nomba bane mufulo ba mufulo bakuvota bane mufulo ba mufulo bakufuatika mufulo ba mufulo bakufuatika mufulo ba mufulo kwenyu tayakwa kwe mufulo ba mufulo aikona man mufulo ba mufulo itayakwa kwe mufulo ba mufulo yakuliati kwenyu mufulo ba mufulo HH does not mean well for Mother Zambia. Zambia to Asebana, this is not the Mother Zambia that we were left with by our ancestors, our forefathers who fought so hard to liberate us. Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, Nalumino Mundia, Mama Julia Chikamoneka, Simon Mwansaka Pwepwe, they fought so hard to put this country on the map, to put this country where it is today. No man would destroy this country because we believe in unity.